field. A tutto gas verso il cielo.
Going? How are you? We are here in a new edition of the Nations Cup, the 12th edition, and we are here with my colleagues Javi, Chundi,
You can there.
Chundi Loco,
Goodbye.
as I am Edu Huocho,
Diego Villasante from Spain. You may already know me from some nations.
and well, Brandon, your host today, Mexican. The only different thing here,
I thought it was Russian.
like exactly on the how is it in
One
Spanish? The
thing
host.
we said we were going to do it in Spanish, right?
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
It's that when you've been living outside your country for a long time, you lose track.
Goodbye.
I mean, later on, you see that I'm talking to my mom, and damn, how do I say this?
How lucky.
But anyway, we're talking about soccer today
you.
because we're talking about a presentation. And as we've said, it will be in Spanish for everyone who's asking. There will be subtitles here. If there are no subtitles here, it's because the editor didn't care at
basically.
all about this, basically, or because the artificial intelligence isn't working. So, well, the only thing we can start talking about today is the groups, because the tournament will be on February 16th. For all the lovers, I'm very sorry.
It's
There will be
14, isn't
football
it?
played, but it's the weekend on the 14th, which is Friday. You can tell your girlfriend, hey, come to celebrate the new year.
But now
Sorry.
I am.
For all those, you can tell your girlfriend, look, I know you want dinner. I know you want chocolates. I can take you to see the Nations League. That's
How's
what I
it
would do,
going?
actually, my love. If you are watching, you got screwed. But let's start. There are, if I'm not mistaken, 32 teams. Yes. 32 teams,
Is it
and
cutting
the
you off?
groups are already formed, right?
Yes. The groups came out yesterday.
Uh-huh. I think we can start by talking about the group.
Yes. Group A, before I think a parenthesis, explain a little that all the teams are going to play the final phase. The best first place teams play starting from the round of 16, and then there are two playoffs. We call the first playoff survival playoffs. It's for the third and fourth places. And then there is a challenger playoff where the second places compete against the winners of the match between the third and fourth places. I mean, regardless of everything, I mean, a bit like the new Champions League, right?
Yes.
In this case, all 32 advance, right?
It's got
All 32 advance. But it's good because many teams in the previous nations complained that they only played 3 matches, and many of them came
Yes,
from
man.
Luxembourg. They were even displaced people, honestly. I would say to them, well, if you are bad, what can we do? But it is true
Which
that playing one
one,
more
too?
match doesn't hurt. Exactly. A bit like the Nations Plus Agenda 2030, right? Exactly. Inclusive and diverse.
Exactly.
Hey,
Yes, I mean,
Arian.
honestly, for those who don't get it, that day they will understand. I mean, it's that simple. It always happens in every tournament that someone doesn't understand. And at that moment already, you just play. You just be there, score goals. But you know what's the funniest thing? I don't know if it's happened to you. It's that in those tournaments always, those who keep asking questions are the teams that are losing. And now who am I going against? Dude, great matches.
Sandra.
You lost 2. What do you expect? Where are you going to go?
Thank you,
Nowhere.
Manuel.
Go home.
Yes. Yes.
But okay, so
yes.
those are the new rules,
Start
right?
by analyzing Group A.
no.
I am eager to know who is in Group A. This drawing has been done before a
It's
notary.
that-
Yes, this is
Take
totally
the
random,
B.
using a navigator called random results, with the list based on the order in which the teams registered, which is on their website. I mean, I think it was signed at notary number 3 of Vigo by the notary Juan Morales, right? It's, exactly,
Mister.
we have the okay from Juan. Great. Okay, so we start with Group A. Group A. Poland, Kazakhstan, South Korea, and Vietnam. An analysis.
Thank you.
You can tell by the
They are from the
horn.
preliminary stages of the Asian Cup. I think there might be... Vietnam has been performing very well in these tournaments. Vietnam sent Spain home in an indoor tournament. It's a team, as far as I remember, very intense, that doesn't give up on any ball. And well, you can perhaps appreciate them at first, because Vietnam doesn't really have a football culture. Romelu Chitalu, Very good spots, that's true, for dining, but in football, not. But it is true that they surprised a lot. I don't know if they reached the semi-finals, or even if they got, I don't know. There was talk of a bit, in reference to the World Cup 2002, that the referee there in the quarterfinals, against, I think it was Russia, I don't know, was a bit.
No.
That was Korea, wasn't it?
But it is true that it was a good
I
tournament.
also think it's important to mention that our idea of the team changes a lot through World Cups or European Cups
Sure.
compared to how they play here, right? I mean, here suddenly you do see one or another country that signs up that they have never been to a World Cup, and here it turns out that they play quite well, right? In fact, the last tournament, the last edition, who was the winner? It was Moldova. Honestly, I don't even know where Moldova is. No. Do you know all the capitals? Perfect.
Have we been there?
No,
Were we at an Eastern
if I
Europe
believe
tournament?
you. But for example, have you ever heard anything about Moldova in
No,
any
they are very
World
small.
Cup?
They are very small. But that's what's nice
So-
about the Nations, right? That it brings you the opportunity of small countries you've never seen.
Explains
To finish,
it to me
well, we have
here.
Kazakhstan left. I think it's their first edition, right? Or I don't remember at least. Second edition. They participated 2 years ago. They didn't do badly. They beat Brazil. But they didn't make it to the final of the finals. The final phase.
Hey, there it is.
Talantis' pupils, led by the great Timor. You will remember Timor.
Yes.
They were in
Yes,
each of
the
them.
bullet, the bullet, yes, yes.
They usually took Benzema's jersey, I
Yes.
believe. And that man was hard to stop. He was fast. And Poland? Do we have a good track record in nations? Well, Poland, I think, is now in the easiest group they have ever been in. Because they've usually been in the Champions group.
Yes.
They've been in groups with Brazil, Italy, Uruguay, and so on.
Well, it's just that
So I think it is...
I follow what I've seen from Poland, and they are indeed true to the real Polish team. I mean, you can see they bring...
I mean,
With
the doorman
But-
smokes too, right? Like
Thank
Nick
you
said.
all.
Well, yes. Just like
Just
that.
as it arrives, you say like, yes, you see one player or another and say, I think we could lose, and disappointment, right? That's how it goes for 3 or 4 World Cups, where one says it's because they have
Well, let's
Lewandowski.
see. It's
because
clear that by
they
the time
have
you reach the final
Gronkowski.
stages of the nations, all the teams are already good.
Yes, very
right?
tough,
They
except
have
for the
passed
Italians.
qualification phase.
Very well.
There is really no easy match, right?
Yes.
So, in fact, for example, I think England was left out, right? In the final stage of The Hague. Let's go with Group B. Group B, right? B for Barcelona.
Holland.
Here comes Vietnam. Oh, Bulgaria and Ukraine. How do we have 2 teams from Vietnam? For me, this is
Yes.
difficult, and I have told you several times. I don't like this. I don't know if we have time for debate, but I wouldn't allow 2
And
teams.
Thank you.
less that they are in a coup. No, that's Korea. 2 Koreas.
Well, Koreans
no, no.
exist.
Korea doesn't have a coup.
Vietnam does not exist. I think Chundi got stuck in the Vietnam War. There was North and South Vietnam.
Specified. I mean,
It
no.
ended about 40 or 50 years ago.
What's going on with the yours?
Well, we've already analyzed Vietnam. This Vietnam has 50% history, meaning 10 games played, but a good team.
I'll go with you. Okay.
The Netherlands is a bit misleading. Thank you. Because it's quite...
Like in every World Cup.
I had to ask for their passport, because I think there are quite a few naturalized players, but they all have Dutch
And
passports.
regular.
It's verified. Then Bulgaria, important. They have played twice.
Just to mention,
Once.
the Dutch asked us not to have a match at 12 to be able to have their
Exactly.
lunch.
That's right. That is
Exactly,
it.
That's important.
So you see, Bulgaria played in the final phase of the Nations 9, I think it was. They lost to Brazil on penalties, but they are a very good team. I think they are, in my opinion, candidates to lead the group. With Ukraine's permission. Invited for the first time,
Which question?
right? A gesture from Zelensky.
Perfect.
Right? This
2
Ukraine won that
tournaments ago,
tournament 2 tournaments ago.
Thank you.
It's quite a young team. They were left out the first time they played,
Who?
but they played in Russia's group
And it scared
I don't
them.
know. without
But,
fear. Tension, right? They qualified just the same. I think after the victory 2 tournaments ago. Also contenders to reach the top. Do Vietnam 1 and Vietnam 2 get along? Do they know each other? Yes, they know each other. I think they could have even made 3 more teams.
But it would be...
But
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised exactly.
60
What
Vietnam.
Group C? Vietnam
Thank
3.
you.
Group C, Vietnam 3. Vietnam 3.
Okay.
Okay.
In the sea.
I can comment, right?
Exactly, it would be
I
interesting.
mean, could there be only semi-finals from Vietnam in your bracket? Could be.
Okay,
could
then
be.
let's move on to Group
Group C. Russia, Italy, Romania 2. And Moldova, current champions. This Moldova is the current champion. Italy, we already know them. They are the sweetheart of all nations, who in the end, nobody knows how, ends up losing. All the finals. It's enough that they reach the finals because they play terribly. That's true. Please, replace this. It's a bit like Juventus, right? That's for Juventus. At finals and such. But hey, we got outplayed by the tournament's experience. It has great players like Enrico, Francesco Valeri, Giorgio, Luca, right?
But it's there in the pill, right? I was there too, Brandy. Well, I was in about 5 different nations, except Mexico. Were you there? Yes, I was in Vietnam too. But yeah, I mean, they all came up to my shoulders, so... Damn, you're the lifeguard of
the nations, man. You mentioned 2 others. Is it Romania 2? Did you say which it was? It's Romania 2. This Romania has players who won with Hungary. I mean, the goalkeeper plays with them. The MVP of the Nations 8, I think it was.
Well, what's also important
Bobby.
is that, Moldova, which was the champion in the past, was in the closed 5
Have they
versus
said
5.
it all?
See,
A
sorry.
lot.
It also changes a lot to play
It was
7
mentioned during
aside
the tournament
versus 5.
presentation, but we'll repeat it again. Is that it's soccer 7?
It
right?
was a prank. It was a prank. For those who are watching us outside of Holland,
Have they come
in
back
Holland
here?
it rains a lot, especially during the period from October to April, half of the year. So during December, we held that tournament in an indoor place where you could also play using the
Yes.
wall. So that type of gameplay changes a lot. Do you remember the time we played the tournament against the Russians? It was
think
the
it's
first
worth
time
it.
you had to play with...
And did you play with
They
Spain?
already knew.
Yes.
I played with Spain. They use the wall a lot
course.
because
in fact,
they
I would
already knew how
propose,
to play. It's very different.
Since we are here debating, that this be the Nations Cup and this, the Nations League.
Exactly. In
Because you
football
cannot give the
always.
same
Exactly.
value
In
to playing in
football
these
always.
fields. It's the same as winning this trophy on the football field. Well, but be careful because Moldova is there. He also plays footy. I don't know if he's 6 or 7. And he won one of those footy tournaments. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. Well, you're here with... yes? Spiced it up. We're going for the triple. Hopefully we can play soon.
No.
Well, yes, here it seems that Italy and Moldova will be the favorites.
Go ahead. That's it.
I bet on it too. I think so. According to me, here in this group, they might start slipping away, but they are always there.
Yes, the Italians. Yes.
I
Who
touch
was there?
myself.
I mean,
Yes.
being there were several times when I
Juan,
have seen
all the teams
playgroup,
from
right?
the...
I mean, I think I am the literal representation of nation,
Why?
as
Over
I have
here?
already been in several. I mean, well, what I did realize and said, this is worse than Mexico, right? I mean, here I am not going to play with a team where I realize it's worse than Mexico. I'm very sorry, Argentina. Your currency has no value. But the truth is, yes. I mean, I got to play with England, with Spain, with Italy, Germany, LATAM.
I mean, you have more
Exactly,
passports
more
than
than
James
Jason
Bond.
Bourne. But something I'm forgetting to say because I know what they're letting go. We set it up until now. For Group A, let's see, and this is important. I need us to repeat it. Let's put Edu. And here we will put the addition of everything. It's your favorites for Group A. Who is it? Who would be in the... Just say who would be in the first place.
You are really
Who would be
good,
first in the group?
dude.
Poland, Kazakhstan, South Korea, and Vietnam.
Vietnam first. Vietnam.
Yes.
Yes, I believe
Vietnam
this.
first. Vietnam.
Yes, I think so too.
I'm thinking, no, let's all go with Vietnam as number one. Okay?
Drop the bouquet.
Because it's
yes,
Vietnam
the
number
one
one,
from
yes.
the south.
Okay,
Okay, Group B. Group B, we said, I think Volga, huh? It put me as Volga, huh?
Can you repeat for us, please?
Group B, Vietnam 2, Holland, Bulgaria, and Ukraine.
I'm going to say Ukraine. I think I'll stick with Ukraine too.
I must say the Netherlands, once played, they are tough people. They've also signed a new one, who is 16 years old, making a strong impression. Jean-Claude Van Honder, I think he's called.
Okay. And Group C, I think that Moldova or Lin.
Man, they are the champions, right? Yes, Moldova is a favorite. The one who has always been champion has that. Well, let's remember, I don't know if he'll be in this Nations, but Italy had someone in Juventus' youth team who was a goalkeeper, right? And he also scored an amazing free kick goal against this.
No, damn. Alessandro. But damn, come on. I mean, you only show up at the Nations every... Not even the
Group
Pope
B,
when he
let's
visits. The Pope goes more often. He lives there. Group D. Sonalysis.
Analysis of Group D, Uruguay, Greece, LATAM, and France. Right, we need to explain what LATAM is because people will say, is Uruguay LATAM? Yes, it's LATAM, but this LATAM played in the last edition. But 3 or 5 people dropped out at the last minute. This LATAM team is new. But what makes up the LATAM team? Refugees. Indeed, they are like people from everywhere. It's a mix. Yes, it's a mix. It's captained by an Argentine, so I have a lot of faith. Especially that they'll bring intensity to the game. Between LATAM and Uruguay, there will be a lot of intensity.
Thank you.
Are there grudges? Well, but Uruguay brings the fast shot. Juan brings it at home. Just as I don't like having 2 teams from the same country, I also don't like conglomerates. I have to say that too. A classic from Javi, right? But there was also one recently from the European Union. And they won because it was a team of stars, an all-stars, from Germany, from France, when the final was against Peru, right? Yes, indeed, the final against Peru. A championship that was stolen from Peru, it must be said. Peru deserved that second star, right?
Yes.
I would tell you that Uruguay is the favorite. Thank you. Who else did you mention in that group? France.
No.
France has placed 3rd. They have finished 3rd in the last 3 tournaments. They struggle in the semi-finals, but they don't fail in the other matches.
They
France.
have a defender who is like 7 meters tall.
They rang.
And I mean, how do you score a damn goal?
Answer
I mean,
white, Latam,
Yes.
Greece.
Also.
Here you have Michael, right?
Of Hercules, Zeus, Athens, look
In this
yes.
group, you have 2 scorers. You have Paris, Prince Paris of Greece. He has been the top scorer, I think in the 8th or 9th.
Who was the gentleman?
Okay,
And the Frenchman.
I'm out.
The Frenchman has been the top scorer in the 10th edition. Ryan.
Okay.
I would favor Uruguay, although they don't usually perform well. Thank you. But they are a team with spirit. In fact, I think they have barbecues here. They compete against the Argentinians. Someone makes the best barbecue.
Yes.
It's something
Yes,
nice
there
about the
is, let's
nations.
say.
I think I'll also stick with Uruguay.
I'll go with France because they usually don't falter at the start in the group
Let
stage.
good football return.
But I also think Uruguay will put up a good fight in the group.
Very well.
You must be quite a francophone, right? This French team, statistically,
just that-
I see as quite strong.
As Javi says, I mean, always like the first phase, they go all out, and suddenly, boom, the next one is when they usually
France always
lose.
starts like this, huh?
Yes, I mean, hours
yes,
of
no, they have
victories. It's in their
60% of
blood.
it.
It's called now, huh?
With Europe, they
Napoleon.
lose in Spain, they lose in Stalingrad.
Okay,
they
now
are
let's
always
go
at
with,
the end.
are all the groups done?
That is very cheap.
No, sorry, I lost track of the math.
I can't have sweets, eh?
Today we put Rubos on Macho.
Group E. Turkey, India, Argentina, and Portugal. I don't know if Messi or Cristiano is there, but okay. India? India last? Good curry, bad football? No, that could be the definition. They are improving, but I think not yet. Bad at football. I think they are improving a lot, but they still haven't won a match. They have a new generation. They call tikka masala football. But even so, I don't think they can advance to the next round. They are still a bit green. Then
We have
Turkey has renovated their team
they're not
quite a
Turks
bit.
anymore.
They play at home.
Yes, I once saw
All
them
the greats
training.
train here in baseball. Where? They train here on the left. The field is on the left. Don't you see it? Let's see about Turkey. I can say that I don't completely like it, but it's true that they all have a lot of hair. I mean, they have a lot. I don't know why. Silly. Silly. No, it hasn't happened. Silly. And then Portugal and Argentina. Argentina always put up a fight. They are my favorites for this group. Although I always like playing with Portugal. When we've played indoor, there's this guy with long hair who plays really well. Lots of skill. So I think first Argentina, second Portugal. Argentina is very clever. So when they get ahead in the score, that game doesn't end. It doesn't escape from...
No, sir,
So yeah, Argentina
it
could be
is an
first.
act.
Yes. I think the same. I think I'll also go for Argentina. Although Portugal also has one of the best players in the tournament, Isio. He was the top scorer and MVP in one of the tournaments. I don't know if he will play. But with those doubts, I give it to Argentina. Okay. Very well. Look, each group is very entertaining, huh? Group F. Chile. Yes. Spain. Colombia and the Atom 2. Damn. I mean, the Atom 2.
Well, I mean,
So I have to wear shin guards, right? It's a tribute to Hispanic heritage. Very good. I like it.
I like
Well,
them.
look. Chile is a solid team. Plays very well. Thank you. I know two of them who also play futsal with them. Victor. And another kid with a little ponytail, whose name I can't remember. And then there's a Spaniard who plays with them too. It's going to be an interesting match. Chile plays soccer very well. We'll have a good time for sure. Then we have LATAM 2, which I don't know what you've included there. I don't know what's in that mix. I think this team has a little more quality than LATAM 1. They play futsal together.
Let's
Several
go
of
to the
them.
sweet part.
I
Here
think
is
it's
the
a bit
strong
better
part.
in terms of football, but you never know. The team we had in April was amazing, with players from the second B division, and we fell in the round of 16. Are we talking about Spain
It
now?
was when
Having
I
the best
played
team?
with you.
Doesn't guarantee you anything in the end.
There's
From the
nothing
second B
about
of where?
the tampons,
Second B
right?
players? Spain. Former second B players.
The one who
And
was
that
here
team
at
is when-
base,
no.
where I also came.
Oh, my love.
The one we
It's
did in
just that I
Utrecht.
thought that one.
The one we did in Utrecht where you were
yes.
there.
And Yaki picked me up, yes. Well, see.
Well,
that's why
let's
we
see.
lost. There I was.
Spain is like the eternal promise. We always started very well. In that edition, we had a great team and we were sent out on penalties. Because,
To
Chundi,
a
I hope you
penalty,
fixed it, but it was a
death
penalty
scares.
shootout. It was sudden death to the star. A penalty shootout with just one penalty. And we missed ours, and they scored theirs. Well, that's it. It was over. Well, Chundi had disallowed a goal of mine for offside. There was no offside. He was the goalkeeper himself. The only star we have. In the match, I scored a goal, and Chundi was offside. The goalkeeper said no. And then, from that match on, guys, there is no offside. It's the only star, because Chundi stole a final from us by postponing it with Brazil. Yes. Chundi is our greatest enemy.
Hey, but look, it's the worst enemy, and there are two cans.
Yes.
I mean,
well, yes, he
I
has
think
put the
that
one.
is...
I mean, I think this Javi is.
And the best one for
and
us
Colombia.
has died.
I think we've also played against Colombia.
He knows last
Yes, remember?
year.
Is Colombia not easy?
It is
No,
a
no.
team that at first
Does
you...
it seem to you? It's where the girl plays, right? Or was that Venezuela?
Girl play that edition? A girl. That edition was, let's say, historic. They were going to lose when we made the bigger groups. I think it was night per group. The first 3 matches they lost. The tournament was suspended because there was an electric storm. They went up here to the canteen. downed 2 or 3 pitchers of beer, went down, and they finished third. It's Colombian. And then remember the last time you came, Diego, when they knocked us out playing with 1 less. Yes, it's true. The truth is that we were very demotivated because we had... If we had won, I think we would have qualified, but we were a bit demotivated from the previous results. Damn, what losers? Or did they win with 1 less? Man, but 5 minutes before the end. Okay, due to expulsion or injury? Injury. Very good. They stepped up. I mean, I see it here in this group. I think if they keep going that way, plus they have the best goalkeeper from the last Nations. David? The best goalkeeper from the last Nations is you. David, MVP as a goalkeeper. David Ospina. That could be because the guy was flying. They would shoot to the corners and the guy would fly and save them all. I mean,
Good news is that
well, they're going to eliminate us. That's the good news. Exactly. But in this group, I think I favor Chile. I favor Chile. Chile is playing better than in the Nations. Maybe. But, well, watch out for Spain's surprise factor. They are getting back together, those who never used to come. Has there been talk about the notary? Is the notary coming? Juan Morales? Maybe he's coming, but mainly to provide moral support. To certify, right?
Thank you.
Could be. Well, we entered the last 2 groups. Group G, United World.
I mean, that's
What the hell? I mean, wasn't the song sung by the Prime Singers?
I think it's time to include the Pangea, right? This team is the Pangea. Everyone,
That's a mix of
right?
everything.
Leave it.
Of people who play together on Sundays
Yes, from
in this German group. What's it called? From Julian?
Thank you.
I mean, it's a complete collection of Julian. But Julian doesn't play.
I love you.
Good news for United
I
World.
love you.
United World, Australia,
Thank you.
Mexico, and Madrid. Does Brandon play in Mexico or not?
What?
No.
No,
As far
not
as
that
we
I'm
know,
aware of
no.
either. Good news for Mexico
Well, I wasn't
too, right?
expecting you.
For Mexico, it could buy exactly. The truth is that beans, Mexico, I think only the first nation did well, right?
The last time they played their 4th match, they beat Argentina, which is something not seen in World Cups. They won their 4th match against Argentina, played the 5th
enormous.
match, and there was no penalty there.
Okay.
But
What's it called?
so they have said Mexico, United World, Australia, and Brazil. I mean, it's also a very World Cup-like group.
Hello.
Brazil, Mexico, with Memo Ochoa, and Australia with Harry Kewell. I think Brazil is the favorite, right? Brazil should be more of a favorite in this group, but it depends on which Brazil. It's just that I face Brazil, yes, and then
Brazil with kids
Toledo.
who run as if they.
I don't think it's these guys, but they're not the randoms
Thank you for watching the video.
from Facebook that Mateus called at the last minute either.
I mean, this is another Brazil.
It's a Brazil team that plays together. And you also see them on Sundays at 11 in the morning around here.
Okay.
But they play 5 against 5. Is it Jogo Bonito? It's pure Jogo Bonito, 5 against 5. And let's see how they play in 8.
Okay.
Right? History Championships. Yes, the greatness of Brazil.
Thank you.
Who else has won? Have they participated
Long
before?
live Andres.
Yes. They usually remain in the groups. They usually play well in the groups, but they always fall a little short of reaching the finals.
Very well. Then
Okay.
we stick with Brazil.
Group H. Are there more presses in the world? The Vatican.
What's happening?
Peru? Wait. What do you mean, the Vatican? Led by a Valencian priest from here? But does he live in the Vatican? Or have we called it Vatican because they are priests? Well, there's a bit of everything. There are priests, there are seminarians,
But what?
a little bit of everything. None of them are from Vatican City. I think there isn't... I don't think Vatican nationality exists. That's why I was surprised that there's a team. Yes, but it's like a mix. There's the priest, Father Sergio. There are seminarians. There are some refugees from the wars currently in the Middle East. There's one named Rami, who comes from, if I remember correctly, Iraq.
Team for Peace. It's Team for Peace completely. And what time is the tournament? What time does the tournament start? Just to know if we need to bring some money. The tournament starts at 1. Is there a mass here at the tournament?
By the
well,
side,
it
a
depends
priest.
if any
Damn it.
priest wants to celebrate it. Son of a bitch.
Thank you.
Are they Catholics?
They are Catholics,
Okay,
yes.
so this
It's just
is
for
a
show.
country.
That's it.
Before entering, what does a priest do in the Spanish Netherlands? Well, he has been assigned. I hope I can come sometime.
In short, that...
Well, yes, I would like to do an interview.
How interesting.
Okay. Makes very good paellas, mind you. Good to know. Okay. So Vatican will then face Peru. Well, Peru that has a championship, as we said, and you stole from another one, right? Moldova, Dots, the one that eliminated us in April. Romania, the one that played against us in the. But overall, they also faced the other Romania and the other Moldova. Why do you want them to face each other? There's a topic. It was pure luck. Surely you don't want scandal for. But he mentioned 4 teams. Is that the Romania that played the previous edition against us, which also beat us 1-5-3? It was Football 5, and they brought 16 people. And a fan base, there were maybe 20 more people.
Yes.
So they'll be well supported. And this Moldova didn't play the previous edition, but
The Utrecht one is
he
the one that knocked us out in
scored
penalties.
3. And I think
Penalties
he's
or penalties?
already won the day.
The
But in
penalty-
that edition, they won 3rd
Sorry.
place.
Knocked
They
us
were
out in the
eliminated, I think,
Yes.
by Italy.
But we were quite a bit better than them in that match.
But it was
Yes.
the penalty. But we didn't get sent
For
off.
a penalty,
we closed
it's
it.
not a mistake.
Penalty. Well, you know, a mystery. I think Peru has it easy. Peru has been lucky in this draw. I don't know. Moldova 2 and Romania 2. The truth is, I'm sorry. I don't.
Vaticano has
It has
played
only-
badly.
Damn.
Nobody knows how they play.
But God goes with them.
Could be a
That's
reason, right? They have the feeling that they are like San Marino, that they already
Do they
won
play
the
in
first
Castle?
matches last year.
Don't let them.
Of course.
The
not.
kid is a clerical
Not
collar,
you.
right?
Of course.
With the
You
jersey.
just have to repeat.
Maybe someone plays with the clerical collar underneath, yes? Hey, how interesting. No, thanks for sharing. A goal is scored. You lift the jersey and say, I love you, God.
Well, I think the shirt
I belong to
says
Jesus.
Ave Maria. It was Kaka in a Champions League final. Who had I belong to Jesus, right?
Maybe here they
I mean,
do it the
it could
other
have
way
one
around,
of
right?
those.
Instead of Jesus, they have Kaka, right? It was for you, Kaka. Remember to pronounce it well.
That's
Not
where
Kaka.
poop
It's very
comes
different.
Brazil,
out
right?
of the anus, right?
Brazil 2. Let's see. I think here, and then we repeat again. So the first ones face each other.
No, you haven't understood anything. The first one. What, internal affairs? You see, I had told them they would understand it by that day. I didn't understand either. Yes, very easy. But go for it, Javi. Like in the Champions League? I mean, the first one's automatically advanced to the round of 16.
Okay, and then is there a tournament between second and third places?
fourth places are sent
and they face second place teams. So third and fourth will play at best 2 more matches than the first place teams and 1 more than the second place teams. There are mixed feelings. Is it better for you to finish last? No. And then play more playoffs against supposedly weaker teams? Look, let me tell you something. If you go... This is for the kids coming up. If your goal is to play football, number of minutes, maybe yes. If your goal is to win the tournament, no. Because I have seen this and I'm saying it, so you take it seriously. You get tired. They are matches, unless you are... who did you say came with 16 changes? Romania. Unless you are Romania and have 18 people to swap, the
No.
most logical thing is that
And
you
listen
have
to me.
fatigue by the 3rd or 4th match.
Especially with this.
Intense.
As they are short games. And I already told you, we were a very strong Spain in that tournament in Utrecht. We played against a rather unremarkable Moldova.
Thank you.
And to penalty.
Thank you. So what do I want to tell you? The truth is that the stories are worse.
They eliminated us without playing. We played nothing. A penalty kicked us out.
That ghost is haunting you, isn't it?
If I hadn't remembered before, now that you reminded me. And well, very painful because it's true that we had a great team. I think it was the best team. There was Iñaki.
But people
Manu
knew that
Mariscal.
game was just...
No. We found out we had already been eliminated.
I get tough and everyone tells the rules first so that people don't get lost.